Well, hello there. Welcome to the stream. I'm Father Roderick, and it's good to see you all. I'm currently streaming on a Friday afternoon from the Netherlands. That's where I live. And I'm streaming to both YouTube and also simultaneously, if everything goes well, to Facebook. So if you're watching me on Facebook, thanks for joining in. I'll be trying to monitor both reaction streams. I'm using software called StreamYard, which should, in theory, but I've never tried this before with two simultaneous streams, should show me the reactions from both channels. I was actually also hoping to stream on TikTok, but that will have to wait until next time because this is enough to to juggle with. So I see Claudia who's there, Nadine is there from Germany. Guten Tag und herzlich willkommen. And that was German, or at least a resemblance. And I have to say that the live stream kind of surprised me a little bit, or it surprised me how quickly it was time to go live, because I was working hard on another video. I was able to upload it already to my YouTube channel. And I was hoping to also do like a TikTok version, but I ran out of time. So, well, that's it. I'm still in the phase of trying out how much time certain tasks take me. And of course, I'm used to doing certain things like podcasting, making TV programs. So I kind of know how many days, hours, minutes, seconds I need to reserve. It's probably the other way around. It's like how many minutes, days, weeks I have to prepare and work on stuff. But for the newer things like streaming live, creating short form content on TikTok and YouTube Shorts, that's all pretty new to me. So, I'm still figuring things out. And that's one of the reasons that I wanted to have this chat with you during this community hour. We do this every Friday. We have a closed community hour with the people of our Patreon community over at patreon.com/Father Roderick. But once a month, I want to do this publicly, so you can all share and you can all hear the plans that I'm working on. In fact, now that I think of it, I need to check if this is actually live for everyone. I think so. If you are not a patron yet, but you're still watching this on YouTube, let me know, because then I know that the YouTube stream actually is public. Sometimes the settings are like for private viewing only, and I don't realize that until after the fact. That has happened to me in the past. But let me just take a look at the content here and go to the live. Wait a minute. Oh no, it's not here. Dashboard. So again, I'm just. Wait a minute. I should be in the YouTube app, of course, not in the studio app, because I'm already live. So how's the audio? How's the video? Because there may be a bit of a delay between the video and the audio, maybe out of sync. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised. And this is for two reasons. First of all, I'm using the 4K settings on my camera because it makes it easier for me to keep the image quality, even if I zoom in a little bit for certain productions. And I'm using a pretty old computer, so the PC itself may struggle a little bit with doing all these things at once, interpreting 4K, streaming out, doing the effects and everything. So I hope it's not too much out of sync. If so, let me know, but then I'll see what I can do. Not a patron, still watching just fine. That is great to hear. I'm happy with that, because that's exactly what I hoped. Normally for these Fridays, I have we come together as a team. So I'm working with Inge, who is our community manager. She is, if you are ever in the comments section on social media or on YouTube, or if you're part of the Discord community, then Inge is actually behind the scenes making sure that everything goes well, that everybody feels at ease, and there is a positive atmosphere. We try to get rid of the trolls as much as we can. Although I have to say, I shouldn't complain. Now, of course, I hope I'm not jinxing this, but so far, so good. We actually rarely have trolls. Most people seem to just enjoy the company of the community and hopefully also of me. So yeah, the Discord community, for those of you that are not familiar with it, I have a community of people that support me on Patreon, and in return, I invite them on my Discord server, which we keep kind of closed. I'd love to open it for everyone, but we've noticed in the past that if you open it up for everyone, especially because I'm a priest and, sometimes I'm talking about religious topics, you just roll out the red carpet for trolls and for other people, nefarious people. And so I want my community to be safe, to feel that they are protected and that they can speak their mind without having to fear that they're being ridiculed or attacked or whatever. And so that's why the Discord server has a bit of a threshold, not a big one, because you can join the Patreon community for just I think $2.50 is the lowest tier, so per month. So that's probably not going to break the bank. But I wanted to kind of give it a little bit more of an access point, so that we know who are members of the community. And I know that other YouTubers and content creators struggle with the same thing. It's like this balance between openness, and you want to be as welcoming to everyone, and at the same time, because of the open structure of the internet, you also have to protect the community a little bit. This is, by the way, one of the reasons that if you look at my YouTube videos, in the comments, you will not see personal attacks. You will not see spam, hopefully, or just other nasty behavior that you see a lot, unfortunately, on YouTube. The reason is that I spend quite a bit of time also to monitor the comments. So we remove the people that are just there to rant or to attack other people. So again, it's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes. You're not aware of it, but hopefully you do experience the positive side of that there is a good atmosphere. And that's what I'm here for. If people want to rant, or they want to, I don't know, just dive into a pool of negativity, there are alternatives for them, next to my stream. They can go elsewhere if they want to do that. So I want to say hi to a number of other people that are in the chat. So we've got Gerabe. Is that how you pronounce it? Gerabe? That's a nice name. We've got Claudia is from the Baltic Sea coast. We've got Mariana, Kevin. Let's see. Carlos is there too. Buongiorno. Jeremy is also there. Jeremy Lorton. And there is a little bit of a delay, according to Nadine, a bit out of sync, not that much. I hope to improve that soon when I will switch for editing to a newer computer. I'm thinking of getting myself a MacBook because in the near future, I'll be talking about my upcoming plans. But there will be a lot of traveling involved and a lot of media production on location. Now, this desk here behind me has a side, how do you say that, like a cabinet on the left side. It's an IKEA desk, and that entire cabinet is filled with a massive PC that I had built. I had someone build, I think around 6 years ago now. And at the time, it was like the top of the line PC, like an i7, lots of memory, a very fast graphics card. But you know how things work out. Now it's like really, really, really old. It's like the Millennium Falcon of spaceships. It works, but it's a piece of junk. And so it is time to upgrade. And I do have a very, very old laptop. I think it's 11 years old. It's one of those tiny MacBook Airs, the 11-inch ones. That one is so old that Apple doesn't even support it anymore. So that's fine for light browsing and just some, social media activity. But if you want to do any type of editing or audio production on it, it's impossible. I'm actually surprised that it can do streaming, so I use it for my Lego streams. In case you're following my Lego channel, every once in a while I'll just build a Lego set in the evening, and then people can join me. That stream, all those streams that I do, except for this one, are done with that very, very ancient little MacBook. I'm quite proud of that that little guy or girl, I don't know, or Max, male, female, gender neutral, I don't know. So I'm currently thinking of getting a MacBook Pro, with the, what is it, the Max? So it's like the faster processor, and because that one apparently has a very, very good battery that lasts for a very long time. It has an easy slot for SD cards, stuff that MacBooks haven't had for decennia. So that looks like a great, a great way for me to work on when I'm on a trip. For this studio, for all the stuff that I do here, maybe the Mac Studio would be a good one. Although those are very expensive. I think for the price of a Mac Studio, you can actually buy a laptop. And of course, a laptop has a screen and keys, and it's portable. So my first on my list is a laptop, because that I'm absolutely certain that I will need it this year. And then we'll just see. If I get rich on YouTube, maybe I can get myself a second computer. Jeremy writes, I'm not even 40 yet. Wow, you're young. Oh my gosh. But it's amazing how fast I can fall behind with the latest technology and apps. I remember how excited I was to get a 56K modem. I remember those. I actually didn't even have a 56K because you didn't need that speed. That was just beyond light speed. Who needed that if you had a 28K modem? This was at the time, for those of you that have no idea what we're talking about. This was the time that in order to get on the internet, you had to dial in using a phone line. And so you would have these modems, and they would actually issue a lot of beeps and bloops, and you would log on to a remote computer that then would connect you to the internet. And the thing was like super slow. It easily took, if you visited a website with lots of images. So at the time I was doing a lot of Star Wars stuff. I had my own Star Wars website, and of course I wanted to follow everything that was going on around the prequels that were in production back then. If I went to the StarWars.com website, the front page took about 2 or 3 minutes to load. Minutes. I'm not talking about seconds, like minutes to load. And you would see these graphics, the photos, they would first appear as like a mass of blocks, and then little by little it would download the higher resolution data, and it literally could take up to a minute for a photo to render. I'm not even talking about videos. I think the only videos at the time that you could watch literally like an inch inside, like a square inch. That was it. And we were like, oh, the future, moving images. Oh my goodness, I'm in Star Trek. Yeah. That's how quickly things change nowadays. Oh my gosh. Hey, Mike. Good to see you all. We got a lot of people. I'm so glad you can all join us this afternoon, or my afternoon, probably your morning. Emily is there. Pika wants to know if I'm going to play video games on my Switch. I have the Switch here behind me. It's up there on the shelf, on the upper shelf. It's black, so you can't really see the rest of the bookshelves are also black. I haven't touched the Switch in months now. I just don't have the time, unfortunately. I do a lot of stuff during the day. I do play video games, but I play it on this computer because this is the only one that can actually run modern video games. And I have an Xbox that I sometimes play on, but that's only for certain games, and it's usually over the weekend. So yeah, there are only so many hours in the day. Mariana has a 3DS. Nice. I remember those. I had one of those. I love the 3D aspect. Unfortunately, that never went anywhere. Please look forward. Says, hope you get the chance to stream Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. I may in the future, although there are two issues with that. The first issue is it is an expensive game because it's brand new, so that would cost me $50. That's outside my budget for video games. So usually I play older games. I wait for the games to go down in price, or I have Game Pass Ultimate. So, I play the games that show up there. But unfortunately, I don't have an unlimited budget for entertainment, because I also have all these, streaming services that are important for my work. The Disney, Star Wars stuff, Marvel stuff, Star Trek. We don't even have. Well, we have Star Trek on Netflix, and Picard is currently on Prime Video, but we don't have Paramount Plus, so I have no access to Discovery or Prodigy and Strange New Worlds. All that beyond my reach. So the second thing is, I remember in the past when I was streaming Lego games, they were hard to capture, at least with the software that I was using at the time, and they have a lot of Star Wars music. So these streams would get tagged. So I would have to find ways to mute the music, which sometimes you can do, but that kind of takes away a lot of the fun of playing a Star Wars game if there's no Star Wars music playing in the background. So that is an issue with copyrighted music. That's why during almost all my videos right now, you will not hear soundtracks. You will not. I don't play, like I do these videos on Moon Knight, for instance, and I did a lot of videos on Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett. I will do a whole new series on Obi-Wan Kenobi, of course, but I will never use footage or play audio. What I do is actually I use my iPad, that's right here in front of me, and because the iPad has a very good screen, very detailed, much more high resolution than the monitor behind me, and then I use my phone to literally film the screen. And then I use those clips to illustrate the points that I'm making. That's the only way to not get copyright problems on YouTube. So it's a bit cumbersome. I wish I could do it in a different way, but it works, and it's now kind of part of my workflow. And I'm so glad that I don't have these copyright flags all the time anymore. It's actually also one of the reasons, if you've ever watched my masses. So on Sunday, I do something very different from the geeky stuff. So I stream mass here from a small room next to where I'm sitting currently. And I used to always, or when I was still streaming that from a church, we used to sing Gregorian chant. But it turns out that a number of record companies have also put copyright claims on that music. So every time I celebrated Mass and I sang myself, there wasn't a choir or anything, I wasn't playing recordings, I would get a copyright flag. I would have to write a formal, how'd you call that? Like rebuttal, explaining why this is not copyrighted. How can it be copyrighted? It's like from the Middle Ages. I'm pretty sure there's no copyright on that. And then sometimes I had to wait for months until they would release the copyright. And in certain cases, they just refused it. So they said, no, we have the copyright on this centuries-old song. It was so frustrating, and it just caused a lot of extra work. And so once I started streaming from here, I decided, you know what, I'm not going to sing anymore. Let's not do the Gregorian chant because it's just too much of a hassle. KOTOR, I need to finish that game. I started playing it several times and never finished it. I'm excited that we're getting a remake of that or a reboot. It's a bit unclear what they're going to do with the game, but there's going to be a new version. So that's exciting because it's still one of the best Star Wars games out there. Although I have to say I'm currently playing through not Dark Forces. What's the name? The Fallen Jedi Order. Fallen Jedi, right? Whoa, that game just completely blows me away because it feels like you're in a Star Wars movie. It is so extremely well done. That's a ton of fun. So that's currently one of the games that I play on the Xbox. Because this computer, unfortunately, I do have the PC version as well, but this computer doesn't run it very well. because this computer is built for editing, and so all the components are optimized for transcoding and that sort of stuff, but unfortunately not for video games. I can play most games, but at a low frame rate, low resolution. Who else is there? Does anyone know how to change my chat name? I have no idea. I think it's just your YouTube name, if I'm correct. Evo is there too. Evo and we worked together on the streams in the past when I was still in my previous parish. He's much more technical than I am, and does a great job with the streams there. Let's see. Kevin says, I would tune into that stream. Please look forward, even though I haven't played it much myself. Oh, you're talking about the Lego stream. Hey, Leo, all the way from Los Angeles. You're up early. It's like 7:30 over there. I'm honored that you are watching this. I hope you enjoy your breakfast. Will I play the Nintendo Switch games on YouTube? That's even harder, because then I have to capture the screen from the Switch. I do have a little device. It's the same brand as the lights that I'm using here on the sides of the monitor. Elgato. I've got an Elgato capture device. But it was a hassle to set up, and there would always be this audio lag, and Nintendo is the worst when it comes to copyright strikes. A lot of people that were streaming Nintendo games on Twitch, they got into trouble. Not only did they get like a flag, like a warning, like you can't monetize this video, but their streams would be taken down. Sometimes entire channels were taken down through the legal procedures of Nintendo. I don't think it's a smart move, because all these gamers are giving the games free publicity, but Nintendo is just extremely, I don't know, uptight when it comes to copyright protection. You know, another company that is terrible for that, Paramount. Paramount is terrible when it comes to copyright. This is why I never do reaction videos to Star Trek trailers. In fact, the latest video that I posted on the Picard reunion of the Next Generation crew, that video doesn't contain any audio or any footage of Star. It's just stills that I took from the little blurb that they posted on Twitter. But anything more, and Warner just takes down your video, threatens you. It's terrible. Again, another reason why you won't see any Harry Potter stuff on my channel, because it's just such a hassle. Star Wars, I love Disney for letting us play with their franchise, letting us react to these videos, even monetize the trailer reactions. Of course, you can't post an entire episode of The Mandalorian on YouTube, but they're very, very generous when it comes to using their publicity material, because they know that company understands. And this was also the fact back when it was still Lucasfilm. They know that they need the fans. The fans are what makes Star Wars a success. If they lose the fans or the goodwill of the fans, they will also lose money. It's as simple as that. And I don't understand why companies like Warner, Paramount don't get that. Like threatening fans. Nintendo does it all the time. Sony used to do it. It just creates, especially in this day and age, such a quick negative buzz around a company. And of course, legally, they're totally justified to do that. It's just not a smart move PR-wise. What are fans gonna do to hurt your brand? They're just basically giving you millions of hours of free promotion. So I'm very glad that Disney is cool with us fans reacting to what they make. Let's see. We've got Eileen from Virginia, 75 years old, or I should say 75 years young. I remember the modems where you had to put the phone receiver on the modem. Yeah, if you want to see what that looks like, watch Ferry Bueller's Day Off, because I think it features one of those modems. The suction cup 800 baud modems. Oh my gosh. I'm glad I'm not the only old person here. Oh boy. Yes, and then if you would have a shared telephone in the house and someone would call up a friend or something like that, or someone would call you, it would break the internet connection. It's like, Mom, I'm working on a website here. Let's see. Mariana says, I'm gender neutral. So I wasn't wanting to offend anyone with those comments. Garaba are poor families who had to deal with phone cords running through the house. Yes, that was me. That was my life. And then if you had, what was it? Was it AOL? The You've Got Mail. I only know that from the movie You've Got Mail, because we didn't have AOL in the Netherlands, or maybe it was there, but it wasn't a big player. So, but for a whole generation that grew up in those early days of the internet, AOL was like, it was going to be there forever, which is kind of ironic, isn't it? We've seen all these platforms come and go, and we don't know in the future if the platforms that we currently think are here forever, like YouTube or TikTok or Facebook, 10 years from now, they may be gone or gobbled up by some other reality. This is one of the reasons I think that Facebook is now heavily investing in the metaverse, so in virtual reality, because they realize that if that becomes big and people change their behavior and they will not use phones anymore in the future, and I think I wouldn't be surprised that in the future that we won't have phones anymore, but instead it will all be done with the glasses, intelligent glasses. Their whole business model would crumble, so they need to innovate. This is one of the issues of some of the older platforms. Remember Yahoo, when that was a huge thing. What is Yahoo now? It's nothing. It's just a news website, and even that. And it is because they thought that they were invulnerable, that they would be there forever. And then Google came around, and that's where people went. And Google, too, has to innovate. Apple has to innovate. They all have to innovate. Remember GeoCities? Everyone who had a website was on GeoCities. It's gone. Most people have no idea what that is. MySpace. MySpace was massive. It was everybody was on MySpace. Completely gone. I remember here in the Netherlands, there was a platform that everybody was on. All the cool kids were there. Everybody was telling me, oh, but you're involved with all these new media. You have to be on that platform. I even forgot what it was called. And then my feeling was, this is so lame compared to what Facebook is doing, what Google is doing. This will never survive because this is just a Dutch company, a Dutch platform, but we're all going to be international. The internet is international. And at the time, I had already about 10 years under my belt of creating English websites and being active internationally. And so I didn't bother to invest in that Dutch platform. I just went on Twitter. I went on Facebook. That's where I found a lot of my community. And then when YouTube came around, I switched from podcasting to YouTube. Of course, I'm still podcasting. I still have a number of shows every week. In case you're new, by the way, and you want to subscribe to those podcasts, just look for my name in your podcasting software. Just look for Father Roderick and you'll find some shows. I've got like a weekly show that is about entertainment, movie reviews, technology, science, etc. I've got another podcast that is called The Walk, where I just walk outside or I visit places and I talk about what I see. And then for the patrons, I've got a whole bunch of other shows that I do on a weekly basis. So I continue to do podcasting, but I knew at one point, video, that's where the big growth is going to be. That's where the audiences are going to be. And I was right. And I'm glad I was right. I was actually quite slow at embracing YouTube for what it is because I had other work. I was working for television for many years. And that is that was taking up all my time. So I sometimes did stuff on YouTube, but it was very haphazard. And that has changed this year. I'm much more focused on YouTube, and and we're slowly moving towards the plans for this upcoming month. At the beginning of this month, I finally made the step. I've been thinking a lot about what I should do and how I should do it, but I finally made the transition. I entered the TikTok space. And this is after having been a huge fan of TikTok for about half a year now. So I've been on TikTok, but as a user, as a consumer. And for me, TikTok is the best platform for discovery and for learning stuff. So, of course, TikTok can be very different for you. It really depends on who you follow and what you're searching for. But the algorithm is fantastic when it comes to helping me find and guessing what I would like to see. And so a lot of the things that I learn nowadays are from TikTok. And I felt like, because I love it so much, and I like the short form nature of it, it's a different animal from YouTube. I think these two can coexist very, very well. But I knew that in addition to YouTube, I should be on TikTok as well. I just didn't know exactly what to do. I just felt like I had imposter syndrome. How can I possibly be as good as all these TikTokers that are doing such an amazing job and are so knowledgeable? I'm just Father Roderick. I'm a geek and a priest, but a little bit of everything. But do I really have a specialism that would make it worth people's time if I were to go on TikTok? So because of that imposter syndrome and perfectionism, I kind of delayed doing anything on the platform until the 5th of April. Not Picard, First Contact Day, and my birthday. So I remember that I woke up on my birthday and I was like, okay, so what am I going to change in my life this new year? I'm going to do another round, another tour around the sun. What am I going to commit to? And I immediately hit me. I'm going to commit to doing TikTok and to do it the way it should be done every single day. So I'm going to be on TikTok every day with short videos. And in the beginning, that will take me some time because I don't have the habit, but I'm going to learn by doing. And I'm not going to wait until I'm good at it before I do this. I'm just going to learn it and try things out. And that's what I've been doing for a couple of days now. And I have to say, I'm having a blast. It's very different from YouTube, certainly very different from Facebook as well. What I like about TikTok is very short form. So I try to stay within, a minute to 3 minutes. That's about it. Which makes it much easier to do something quick. And the second thing I try to do is I'm trying out various topics. So I don't feel like the YouTube channel is very much, and the YouTube algorithm also is pushing me towards Star Wars. Because I know that is why most people follow me, because they know me from my Star Wars reactions. And so when I never noticed it, when I did videos about Moon Knight and what else have I tried out? Dune, some movie reviews. None of that worked. And I think it is because the algorithm really wants me to stick with Star Wars, at least for this YouTube channel. I have some plans about another YouTube channel. But so that also, I love Star Wars, so there's always something to talk about, but it also feels a bit restrictive. And I have more interest. I'm also watching Picard, and I love that. I'm also a Trekkie. I would like to talk about that, but YouTube kind of punishes me whenever I do that. So I feel that on TikTok, that's much less of an issue. That algorithm will make sure that people will find that the only thing that I need to make sure I do on TikTok is to stay focused on the geek stuff. But then people will follow me even if I talk one day about Moon Knight and the other day about Star Trek and then Star Wars. With the algorithm of YouTube, that is much more of a problem. So I like that freedom because I have thoughts about so many other geeky things than just Star Wars. And I'm afraid that I would get Star Wars burnout if I only do Star Wars. So this is why right now I'm doing a TikTok video every day. I'm still putting a lot of time in it and a lot of effort. So I'm really editing. I'm using like Premiere Pro to to edit TikTok videos, which no TikToker ever does. But it is because that is a workflow that I know how to do well, and I'm using this camera. So in front of this camera, you can't see that, but there is a. Can I show that to you? Probably I can use a selfie camera to show you what I'm looking at. But I have a small teleprompter, so I use my old phone. This is an iPhone 6 that I've had for 10 years now, I think. And I use this. It's not. I don't use it for any other stuff anymore. But I have an app here that projects the screen text on the mirror, and then the camera films me through the mirror. So I can read a text and I don't have to improvise, which speeds up the process quite a bit. So let me show you what that looks like. Let's see, we've got this, and then I want to do this full screen. There you go. And let's put that in selfie mode. So let me turn that towards the camera. Oh, it's not going to focus because it's focused on me right now. Okay, what are you looking at? What is this? What am I looking at? I think this here, is this the camera? No, this is that's a microphone. So yeah, it's hard to see. No, you can't see it. My apologies. I'd forgotten that. Well, maybe if I zoom in, can I do that? Yay, that works. Look, that's the camera that I'm looking at. You see that big square? That is the teleprompter. So it has a slanted mirror. I put the phone on the bottom of the screen, and then I've got a very cool app that actually listens to my voice. And so I have the text, but I don't have to scroll it, or I don't. Sometimes these teleprompter apps will scroll at a certain speed, which is quite annoying because oftentimes you will misspeak and you have to like go back to the beginning, do it again. But this app hears me speak, and it will, and the moment I'm done with a phrase, it will scroll up, which is amazing. It's such a time saver. So that's how I do a lot of those short form videos. And I tried reposting the TikTok shorts on YouTube, because YouTube also has a bit of a TikTok clone function called YouTube Shorts. But the downside is they are where TikTok was a year ago. So the only videos that you can post on YouTube Shorts are 1-minute videos. TikTok now allows you to go all the way up to 10-minute videos, and you can even do live streaming on TikTok. None of that is possible with YouTube Shorts yet, but they will, of course, copy everything over time. And so if I want to post or repost something I made for TikTok that is longer than 1 minute, I need to go and edit it, which takes forever. So I'm now trying out this afternoon. I was trying out another workflow. So I was filming myself in widescreen, similar to what you're watching now. And then I go in and I re-edit it for the 9:16, so the vertical format, which is kind of clumsy because it's really hard, especially if you have text and everything, to show much, because it's so constricting. It's tiny. Almost nothing fits in a vertical format. So that takes a bit of time, but I have the added advantage of being able to post a video both on my regular YouTube channel, which for the algorithm is actually nice, and I can repost it on TikTok and reach a whole different community through those vertical videos. Let's see. Who else is there? So we've got Margot and Terry. Fallen Order is indeed, what a game. Amazing. That should be a movie, that game. Margot is a Xennial? Is that a word? That's the first time I hear of that. Jeremy has used web crawler. Oh my gosh, that is ancient history. Have you played the Assassin's Creed games? Yeah, I played a couple of them. The first few, and then the one that is in Paris. Again, my computer doesn't run all those newer games, but I think they're amazing, especially climbing the buildings in ancient Jerusalem. That was a thrill. I loved the is it the second one that takes place in Florence and Rome? That was amazing, but also very jarring because I've lived in Italy, so I know these places too well. And every time I turn a corner, I was like, this is not supposed to connect. But the one in Paris is amazing, and the recreation of the Notre Dame is just incredibly good. I'd love to play those games in VR one of these centuries. Stolas, thank you so much for the is it a super chat? I really appreciate the support. You're making me feel old and thin like butter scraped over too much bread. I see what you're doing there. Dear Bilbo. I have the same feeling from time to time. Like I've been around for so long also on social media. Even before the word blog was a thing, I already had a Star Wars blog. I think at the time I was 28 years old, and I had a website. I was working in a tiny parish as a parish priest, and nobody in my parish knew that in the late hours of the night, I would work on my Star Wars website around that centered around prequels, and I reached about 50,000 people per day. It's insane. It was bigger than my current YouTube channel. Nobody knew that I was doing that, and yeah, it seems like an eternity ago. But that is really why I got so enamored with social media and just the power of the internet. And for me, there was no way back. I felt that this is my world. These are my people. You are my people. So I don't have I assist here in the parish, in this area, but I'm not responsible for the parish. I'm just an assistant priest because my parish is you. It's like the world. It is the rest of the universe. And yeah, I don't think I could ever go back to small scale pastoral activities because I just enjoy. I have so many friends all over the world, and some of them have been following me since those early days of the website was called the Virtual Edition. And the Force.net. I was gobbled up by the Force.net. And I still am friends with the people that of the team that I worked with in those days. Hello, flowers never bloom from Mexico. Beautiful Mexico. Hola. I hope everything is well. Let's see. I'm a little bit behind on your messages, so I don't know what Terry is referring to. With the wonder if they still have access to it. So the Xennials is a baby Generation X or a very elderly millennial. So what is a millennial? Like I'm from 1968. I'm probably just a dinosaur. I never understood what how would you label my generation? Ancient people? I don't know. Am I a millennial? Oh, I'm probably before millennial, right? Because millennials, isn't that the generation that was born after the year 2000? Gen X? What is Gen X? That's another one. I betray my age. I don't know all these newfangled terms of you youngsters with the Gen X stuff. And Emily remembers my first podcasts. Yeah. And that was just, for me, the podcast is relatively new compared to what I did in those early days of the internet. Oh my gosh. But that's how most people have gotten to know me. Or most of my current community, well, no, that's not true. Actually, I think the majority of the new community only knows me from YouTube. And they have never listened to any of my podcasts. They may actually not be aware that I have a podcast. So I'm a Gen Xer. Thank you. What's the X? What does the X stand for? Like X, like cancel? Millennials are those born from the early 80s through the mid 90s. Oh, why are they called millennials then? Because they were adults in the year 2000? Early 80s. That is, those guys are young. So I'm Gen X. I think you are a boomer before Gen X. What is a boomer? Probably asking the question is answering it. Oh, so 66 to 79 is X. So I'm a Gen Xer. 80 to 100 is millennial. What is boomer then? Is that before? Is boomer the generation of my parents? No, they're from they were born in the 1940s. That probably doesn't even have a name because it's too old. So I'm a Gen Xer, and Terry's also a Gen Xer. Thank you. Actually, I like Gen X. That sounds cool. It sounds like generation, like Star Trek Next Generation. It sounds like Next Generation. That's why I'm such a fan of Star Trek. That's why Picard is my hero. It's not just because I'm losing my hair as well. It's because Generation X sounds like the next generation has the same. Oh, wow. I found new nobility in me being a Gen Xer. And you just wait and see, you youngsters. At one point in life, you will be as old as me, and you'll remember this old guy warning you for that. Oh, Mike is a baby boomer from 1953. So boomers are from the 50s, right? So they are from the era of I Love Lucy and the black and white television shows. That's a little before my time. Although we did have a black and white television for most of my youth. I think we got a color TV when I went to high school. It's just because my parents were trying to economize. I remember my dad always saying, "Who needs a color TV?" And then I had a friend with rich parents, and they had a big TV. And when I say big, I mean like this. This screen size was like big. I remember our first TV was literally smaller than my iPad. And we were all sitting right in front of it. My mom didn't want us to sit too close to the screen because, I don't know, we could lose our eyesight or something. But I remember that when I asked for a color TV or a bigger screen, my parents were like, "No, it's way too expensive and it's only for stupid entertainment," as if that is going to be important for your future. What am I doing day and night now? It's like all entertainment and media and film and like all the bad stuff. I've turned that into my career. Anyway, so baby boomers are post-World War II. Okay. I'm probably boring everyone because am I not supposed to know all this stuff? Let's talk a little bit about the weeks ahead. I already told you I'm working on the TikTok clips, so go check that out if you are interested, of course. I'm also working on optimizing the production of that. So what I want to do is ultimately also make the jump to just recording TikToks on the phone. That's actually would be a lot faster, but I don't feel comfortable just blabbing randomly and then editing that. I'm a bit too perfectionist for that. So maybe over time I'll learn how to do that. But a while ago I was talking about the kind of restrictive nature of the YouTube algorithm. The reason that this particular channel, if you're watching this on YouTube, is so much geared towards Star Wars, because that works. Every time I do something about Star Wars, those videos attract an audience. If I do anything else, it's like 100 people see it. And that's not because people are not interested in what I do. It's just the way YouTube works. So in order to be able to do something else on YouTube, I created separate channels, because every channel is considered to be its own thing on YouTube. And so if you scroll down, I think on the main page of my YouTube channel, you see a number of those channels. So there's a Lego channel, and I'm not very active on the Lego channel because I'm just too busy with other stuff right now. But it is my go-to place whenever I do something exclusively Lego related. And I am going to build a channel around my traveling videos. So I do a lot of traveling. I used to always go, multiple times per year, film documentaries in the rest of Europe, sometimes even in the US or elsewhere. But because I was doing that in Dutch for a Dutch television, I was never able to share that with an international audience. And so since this year, I'm focusing exclusively on online distribution and on an international audience. I think it's time to bring you along, if you're interested for that matter. But I can't just start posting travel videos here on the kind of Star Wars themed channel. That won't work. So, but I know that if I start focusing on a separate travel channel, and I know how to play the game, I know how to tag my videos and use the right titles and everything and make the nice thumbnails, storytelling, all that, I have that under my belt. But I know that once I apply that to a travel channel, that has a potential, it's never guaranteed, but has the potential to grow even bigger than the Star Wars channel. And what I hope is that will also create a bit of revenue to finance future activities. So I want to make international documentaries, but right now I don't have the funds to do like serious documentaries. I can do travel documentaries, but a lot of it is just a one-man show in the sense that I have to film everything, organize everything, edit everything over time. But I'm talking long-term, like in the next 3 years, I want to grow to an organizational level where I can have a team that can take care of the editing and can help me with the production and also the preparation of these productions. But in order to do that, of course, I first need to have a base, an audience that is large enough to help me do this. And so if you are interested in joining me in that and also getting a glimpse behind the scenes, I would encourage you, I can only encourage you to become a patron by going to patreon.com/Father Roderick. Let me see if I can put that on the screen. Have I got a banner? Brand? How does that work? I think I should be able to put that in the background. Sorry, I'm just like figuring this out right now. Let's put this in a banner. Show, edit. There you go. Let's do this. And so it is patreon.com/Father Roderick. And you do get your money's worth, I hope. So you do get all sorts of extra programs, podcasts. You get early access to the documentaries, like a month earlier than anyone else. So you do get stuff in return as well. Let's see. Is this working? I'm pressing save, and now I do show. Oh, there you go. This is where you can go to find out more. And it's also the best way to join the Discord community and to help me. What I love about the community that I've formed, and I'm really appreciative of all the communities, the YouTube community, Facebook community, but I'm very much relying on the Discord community to help me discern what works best for you. So they are an invaluable source of information for me, helping me to discern what to do and also what not to do. So sometimes I will pitch ideas and then the community is like, sure, go ahead, but no, I'm not interested. That for me is already a telltale sign that that's probably not a good idea. So that is why if you are joining the Patreon community, sorry that this turns into a bit of an online ad, that wasn't my intention, but you become part of not just of a community, but you become part of the process. You kind of invest in my mission, but you also get a say in what I do, and it's that creative partnership that I like so much. And I never thought that I would have a community like that. I never thought I'd be sitting here on Friday afternoon when everybody is already getting ready for the weekend, and just have like a free form chat with people from everywhere in the world, with not just people from my old generation, you know, not just Gen Xers, but we've got baby boomers and let me peek there. What was the other thing? Millennials. And what comes after millennials? I forgot already. Anyway, young people, extraterrestrials, aliens, stormtroopers. Mariana says, just upload your old documentaries. I wish I could, but unfortunately, I don't own the copyright on that. I have the copyright on the footage, but not on the documentaries themselves. So even if I wanted to, I can't just subtitle them and put them online. I would have to do a re-edit. So the first documentary is already out. It's about an island in Scotland called Iona. There's a very cool story behind that island. But that is a complete rework based on the footage that we shot for TV. And so it's no longer the same product. But that, of course, as you can imagine, is just as much work as just making something new. So yeah, we'll see if I have. There will be times where I can't go on a trip and I don't have material, so I can always go back to that existing material. But I'd rather invest in something new that I can share with you than just heating up old stuff. But that's currently where I am right now. Maybe over time, when I'll be able to afford a team, we can go back to that older material as well. What generation is Baby Yoda? Old I am. All right, we need to go. Yes. Emily says the Iona documentary is amazing. That was a lot of fun. The next one, I hope you're going to enjoy that as well. It's called The Mystery of the Monks. The last stages. Gen Z after Millennial and Gen Y. Oh my gosh, we're running out of letters soon. Gen AA. Yeah, we'll just go back to Gen A plus or something like that. It's like the iPhone. It's like, okay, the iPhone 10, 11, 13, 14, 15. What are we going to do a century from now? Are we going to have the iPhone 105? Anyhow, thank you so much for joining me. If you were watching this on Facebook, glad to have you as part of the community as well. Before you go, can you do me a favor? If you're watching this on YouTube, can you press the thumbs up button? Because that helps the video, but also can help other people to find this live stream. Otherwise, it just gets lost. But if you can click that thumbs up thing, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, well, you'd probably not know that I'm live. So, but just in case you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, I'd appreciate it if you could do that. All right, that was everything I wanted to share with you. Any questions? Anything you want to know or that you missed in this live hour? Now is the time to raise your hand and let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to go and start the weekend. That is no. I first have to finish that TikTok video about Picard. And then I will start the weekend. Tomorrow I'm going to celebrate my birthday with a couple of friends. My birthday was April 5, but I'm going to have another party tomorrow. And I'll be back No, I won't be back on Sunday. Because for Holy Week, so next week is Holy Week, I won't be able to do the celebrations from the small room because the liturgy is literally too complicated to do by myself. You really, for Holy Week, you need assistance. However, I'm going to participate in the celebrations in the other town close here. They have live streams. So instead of posting a live stream to my own little miniature chapel, you'll be able to watch me with Father Henry and with Eric and some other people in Wageningen. If you're interested in that, not everything will be in multiple languages. But anyway, you'll be able to find me. And otherwise, I hope you can find an alternative. I wish I could do it myself, but I have to just know the limitations of doing everything by myself. Also means that some stuff I can't pull off yet. Next year. Margot says, Z Frank posted trust facts about sea stars. Excellent. Oh, true facts about sea stars. Nice. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to wrap things up. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for being such a wonderful community. And I will talk to you soon. And if I don't see you beforehand, have a wonderful Holy Week, or an inspiring Holy Week. Wonderful sounds a bit out of place. And definitely Happy Easter. But I'll be back before that with podcasts and YouTube videos and TikTok. So talk to you soon. Take care and have a nice weekend. Ciao.